Hi everyone and welcome back to our 12th part of our tutorial. In this video I will show you how to add products to our shopping list. In order to do that we need to use again a floating action button. If you remember this layout from our introduction video, you see that is different from the last one, and this is because we are using here a fragment. So let's go ahead and create our fragment. But first let's create a new package named Fragments and click new Java class and name it shopping list fragment. Let's clean this up and increase a little bit the font. We could create this fragment using the new fragment from our menu, but it generates too many methods and variables that we don't need it. So this is the simplest way. Let's add to our class that extends fragment. And now let's go ahead and implement the onCreateView method. Now let's create the layout file for our fragment. And we have new layout resource file and call it fragment shopping list. Let's open now our activity main.xml file and copy all the content and paste it over here. Let's change this with fragments dot shopping list fragment, and let's comment for the moment these three views. Let's go to our shopping list fragment and implement our layout, and we have view. Let's call it shopping list view fragment, which is equal to inflator.inflate, and we pass r.layout dot our fragment shopping list layout, and the second argument is the container, and the last is false. Now let's simply return our shopping list view fragment. Now let's copy from our main activity the entire code for our floating action button and paste it over here. Let's collapse these imports. Being in a fragment, to find a view, we need to call findViewById method on our shopping list view fragment object. Now let's change this with a method call name getContext and copy this also here. Let's change this with createProduct. Let's also change this with product name. And let's change this method call also with add product and pass the product name as an argument. But let's keep this line commented for the moment. Now let's open our activity shopping list XML file and change this constraint layout with a coordinator layout. But before adding the views, let's create first a style in our style XML file. Let's copy this and paste it over here. Let's change the name to app theme app bar overlay and change the parent to theme overlay this time. Overlay app compat dark action bar. Let's close this and let's start adding the views. Let's add the app bar layout and set the width to match parent and the height to wrap content. Let's also add the padding top to 8 dp and assign the theme to style app theme and choose app bar overlay. Let's add inside this view the tab layout, and we set to match parent and wrap content. Let's assign it also an ID, which is tab underscore layout, and let's also set the animate layout changes to true. And the last view is our view pager, and set the width to match parent, the height to match parent. Let's assign it an ID. Let's say view pager, and in the end let's set the layout behavior to string, and let's choose F bar scrolling view behavior. This is needed to enable the scrolling in our application bar. Let's create now our viewPager adapter class inside our shopping list activity. And we have private class viewPager adapter, which extends Fragment pager adapter class. Let's create now two lists, which is private and final list, which will hold fragments, and call it fragment list, which is equal to new array list. Let's create the second list, which is also private and final list, will hold strings, and let's call it title list, which is also equal to new array list. As you can see, we have here an error, which means that we need to implement the constructor. Now let's override three methods. The first one is getItem. The second one is getCount. And the third one is getPageTitle. Let's do some changes. In our getItem method, we need to return our fragment list get and pass the position. And in our getCount method, let's return the fragment list size. There is one more thing that we need to do. We need to create a method and call it addFragment, and use two arguments, a fragment and a string, which is the title, and then simply add the fragment, and in the second list let's add the title. And that's it with our class. Let's collapse this. Let's also collapse this. In our shopping list activity, let's create now a getter method that will return a shopping list model object. And we have public shopping list model, and we name it get shopping list model, which will simply returns the shopping list model object. Now let's call this method to get the shopping list model object in our fragment. Shopping list model equals, let's create a cast, because we need to know from which activity we are calling a method. Get activity, and in the end simply call get shopping list model. Let's get now the shopping list ID, but first let's make it global. private string shopping list ID, which is equal to shopping list model get shopping list ID. Let's create two more global variables. First one is our Firebase Firestore root ref, and the second one is a collection reference, which we can name it shopping list products ref. Let's initialize these variables in our own createView method. Root ref equals Firebase Firestore get instance, and our shopping list products ref is equal to our root ref, and now call collections and pass products, now call document and pass our shopping list ID as an argument, and call again collection and pass shopping list products string as an argument. Now let's go again to our shopping list activity and create a new method, which is private void, and call it setup view pager, that uses a single argument, which is a view pager. Let's get within this method the view pager adapter object, which is view pager adapter object, which is equal to new view pager adapter, and pass the get support fragment manager method as an argument. Within this method, we'll actually create our shopping list fragments object. We have shopping list fragment, true fragment. We see in a minute why I choose this true fragment as a name, which is equal new shopping list fragment. Let's create a bundle object. Let's name it also true bundle, which is equal to new bundle. I named both variables with the true prefix because in this true bundle object we'll put the true boolean for our is in shopping list property. Now let's call our true fragment and pass our true bundle object as an argument to our setArguments method. Now let's call our viewPager adapter and add fragments and pass our toFragment as the first argument and the title as the second argument. And the title is shopping list. Let's create now our false fragment. Let's copy and paste it over here. Let's change this to false fragment, this to false bundle, and pass as the second argument false. Let's change this, and let's change also this. If you remember from our introduction video, there is one more fragment, the history fragment. Let's go ahead and create it. Let's clean this up and extend fragment. Let's implement also the onCreateView method. And that's it with our history fragment. Let's also add this history fragment beneath our setup view pager method. And we have view pager adapter, add fragment, and pass new history fragment as the first argument, and the title, which is history, as the second argument. Now let's get this is in shopping list boolean from our bundle. But let's make it first global, which is boolean is in shopping list. And now let's create a bundle object which is equal to get arguments method. Is in shopping list is equal to bundle get boolean and pass our is in shopping list string as an argument. Now we can create this add product method, which is private void. We'll use a single argument, which is the product name. First we need to get the product ID, which is equal to our reference document get ID. We can create now an object of the product model class, which is equal to new product model. And in this constructor we pass the product ID, the product name, and our boolean is in shopping list. Let's get again our reference and call document and pass our product ID as an argument, and now simply call set and pass our product model as an argument. There is one more thing that we need to do. We need to find these views in our activity. Let's collapse this and find our first view, which is a view pager, which is equal to find view by ID r.id.viewPager. Let's call now setUpViewPager method and pass our viewPager object as an argument, and also set the off-screen page limit to 2. This is very important because we need to set the screen page to 2 tabs. Let's find our second view, which is a tab layout, which is equal find view by ID r.id.tab layout, and in the end just simply call tab layout set with view pager and pass our view pager object as an argument. Let's see if it works now in our emulator. Before testing, there are a few things that we need to do. We need to go to our setUpViewPager method and call in the end viewPager setAdapter and pass our viewPager adapter as an argument, because we forgot to do these things earlier. We also need to change this argument, the true bundle, with the false boolean. And because this is the second section, it will be named product section. And that's it with this method. Let's go now to our viewPager adapter class and change for this method to return title list get and pass the position. There is one more thing that we need to do. We need to go to our activity shopping list XML files and change this table layout to a tab layout. And that's it. Let's test now. I have my emulator running. Let's enter our first list, and as you can see we have 3 sections: the shopping list section, the product list section, and the history. And we can also swipe between sections. Let's add our first product, which is milk. Let's add another one, but this time in our product list section. And let's call it bacon. Now let's take a look in our database to see what happened. And as you can see, we have here two products. The first one has the value of is in shopping list false, and the other one has true. That's all for this video. In the next video, I will show you how to display the products. So hope you guys enjoyed and see you in the next video.